Welcome back to Criminal Lawyers Perth. Today I want to talk about what happens when you go home one day and you find a greeting card, a business card, by a police officer who wants to speak to you. What's going to happen from that moment onwards? Well, a number of things. It would appear that somewhere along the line, and someone along the line has made a complaint. You might be able to cast your mind back and say, oh, that happened to be something that happened in a pub. Or you might say, yes, I remember when I was driving. Most often than not, clients phone us and say, we haven't a clue what this is about. So what can you expect? The first thing you can expect is that the police will not give up until they speak to you. It's probably best, and this is what I advise clients, is to phone the police officer and ask them what's it all about. Invariably, the police officer will say, well, come into the station and we'll have a chat to you. You've got two options then. You can decline and say, no, I'm not prepared to give you any assistance. Or you can say, I agree, I'll come in and speak to you at a time that is convenient to both you and the police officer. If you decline and it's a serious enough charge, or it's a serious enough allegation against you, then the police can come and arrest you. Now, very often while you're at work, the police will come to your house, leave a card, or they might telephone you. And there was a practice not so long ago where the police would go to your place of work. And of course, that's never satisfactory. Suspicions mount as to what you've done or not done. So let's get to the point now. You've agreed to go into the police station. You've spoken to a lawyer, and the lawyer has told you you have a right to silence. You're not to volunteer any information, except be polite. You will be required to give your name, address and date of birth, and undergo a buccal swab for DNA, which is a swab of the mouth, fingerprint and photograph. At the police station, they can hold you up to 6 hours. Depending on the nature of the offence, you could be strip searched, particularly for drugs and weapons offences. It's unusual for other types of offences. While you're at the station, the police will encourage you to speak. They will, because that's part of their job. And your reply will be no comment. It's important that you maintain that presence of no comment. Later on, there may be things that you've said which go against your interest. So our standard advice to client, or any criminal barrister for that matter, is maintain your right to silence. The police attitude might change. They might get somewhat aggressive, but ultimately you will be not giving out information that you're not required to. Now, at the beginning of the process, you will be arrested as a suspect, and you'll be given your rights, such as the right to silence, such as the right to phone a lawyer, such as having a friend present or a support person. If you have phoned a lawyer prior to going to the police station, then give that lawyer a call. The lawyer will invariably give you the same advice again. Don't say anything. No comment, no comment. Be polite and respectful of the police. And the lawyer will probably say, well, put the police officer on, who goes by the term investigating officer. And what that does is it sets up somewhat of a protective mechanism for you. The police know that you are in their care, and there's a lawyer listening and watching and waiting for you to come out the other end. Once the police have exhausted their inquiries insofar as trying to encourage you to give a statement, they'll then either release you to bail or hold you in custody for a first appearance in court the next day or at the soonest possible moment. If you are released to custody, give that lawyer a call again, ensuring that you're safe, and then you can make an appointment, should you choose, to meet with that lawyer and go through what they've gone through with you. So it can be a very terrifying time. It can come out of the blue. A lot of the inquiries we get from clients is that they're historical matters. They go back 20, 30 years. They're not recent matters. And of course, because of the failure of memory, it adds to the problem of being able to remember what you were doing, where you were doing it, and that builds up the stress. I trust you've learned something for today. And if you want to know more about right to silence, have a look at our vlog about the right to silence, either on YouTube or on our website at criminal-lawyer-perth.com.au.